Welcome back to Story Time. We have heard many stories about the Lord, His devotees, and also the various forms in which the Lord manifests on earth. Today, let us hear the story of one such Avatara Purusha, and he is Satya Sai Baba. The Lord may appear in many forms. The entire universe itself is a manifestation of the Lord. In fact, the truth is that other than the Lord, there is nothing. And these manifestations of the Lord may be understandable to us or may not be, yet the truth cannot be changed. And so it is that in a remote village of Andhra Pradesh, in a place known as Puttaparthi, there lived a couple. One of their ancestors was a very pious sage, and he had begged the Lord to come and be born in his family. And these prayers were about to be answered. So, to Pedda Venkaparaju and Ishwaramma, a son would be born. It was the day of November 23rd, 1926. And Ishwaramma's mother-in-law, Lakshmamma, was offering prayers in a Satyanarayana puja. Just as the puja got completed and the prasad was taken by Ishwaramma, moments later a baby boy was born. And since this boy was born after taking the prasad of the Satyanarayana puja, his name was formally given as Satyanarayana Raju. The birth of this baby was preceded by many unexplained miraculous happenings. Now, this family was into music and arts and so had many musical instruments in their house. And days before the birth of Satyanarayana Raju, suddenly all the musical instruments started playing of their own accord. This could not be explained by any logic or science, and so astrologers were consulted, who gave the good news that a divine child would be born. Just after the birth of the baby, when the baby was bundled and kept on a piece of cloth, suddenly they saw the baby moving of his own accord, and when they lifted the baby, they saw a huge serpent under that bundle of cloth. It was almost as if Adishesha had come and given a bed for Lord Vishnu to rest on. Now, as the baby grew up, all the villagers around of course found him to be an extraordinarily sweet baby. As a child also, he was so compassionate that no beggar or needy person at the door would go back empty-handed. Their family was a poor one, yet Satyanarayana Raju would often give his share of food even at a tender age, but never send anyone empty-handed or hungry. Soon it was time for little Satya to join school, but which was in a different town. This was the Bukkapatnam town. The journey to and from school for little Satya and his friends was a most enjoyable one, because they would sing bhajans, and at the end of it, little Satya would offer all his playmates some special prasad, which he would miraculously produce even from empty bags. How could this be explained? When the Lord can create the entire cosmos, creating a small laddu or a piece of sweet meat, can it be a difficult task? But the little children did not bother with such questions. They were so happy to have little Satya as their friend and playmate. As little Satya grew older, he began encouraging all his friends to leave aside tomfoolery and participate in bhajans praising the Supreme Lord. And so, there was a change in the mindset amongst the children and the elders. Everybody became more devout. Little Satya and his friends would go to the temple and sing bhajans and even enact dramas. Little Satya's brother, Seshama Raju, however, who was a school teacher in Uravakonda, felt that little Satya was wasting his time, and so he convinced his parents that he would take little Satya along with him and admit him into a school there. Now, the life was totally different in Uravakonda. Little Satya had to perform a lot of household chores in addition to his school studies. And yet he managed them cheerfully. He was the darling of his friends once again. He would be the delight of all his school teachers. And yet there were moments when some teachers would often think that little Satya was arrogant because he wouldn't even bother taking down notes. And so very often little Satya would have to prove himself. He would have to prove that he could memorize whatever he had heard, and he did not need any formal education to prove that he was an ideal student. Soon all the teachers, including the headmaster of the school, had become great fans of little Satya. Their dramatics, their bhajans and all their pranks were the delight of the entire village. Nobody could bear to be far away from little Satya even for a moment. However, the elder brother Seshama Raju still could not believe that his little brother was anybody special. He always thought that these were mere tricks just to while away the time and to escape from studies. However, one day something drastic happened. Suddenly, little Satya yelled out loudly, and when everybody rushed there, they realized that probably a scorpion had bit him. Satya had fallen down unconscious. The doctors were called, injections were given, and in spite of the best treatments, little Satya would just come in and go out of consciousness, and this continued for 3 whole days. And finally, when little Satya regained consciousness, he was a different person. He began speaking the highest truth of the Vedas. He began speaking high philosophy. He began smiling at times, weeping at times. And nobody could understand how this little child had got transformed. And so they decided that something drastic had to be done. Some people felt he was divine. Some people felt that some ghost or evil spirit had got into him. And his parents were called for. Now, his parents had to travel from Puttaparthi to Uravakonda. It took them some time, and yet they came there and finally decided to go to a person who was renowned in removing evil spirits. Now, this person turned out to be an extremely heartless man. He performed so many rituals on little Satya. He inflicted so much torture on him, and yet little Satya bore it all very calmly. The only purpose why little Satya bore all this so calmly was to show everybody that he was different. He wanted to reveal his true nature to the loving devotees around him. And so one day finally, when somebody asked him, "Who are you? How can you materialize things like this? How can you produce vibhuti, sweetmeats and goodies out of thin air?" At that time, little Satya revealed that he was Sai Baba. The Sai Baba of Shirdi had passed away 8 years ago. And when little Satya's father came to know that the news was going around that little Satya had declared himself to be Sai Baba, he took a stick and accosted the boy. He told him, "Is this a trick? Are you a ghost? Are you playing a prank? Just tell me once and for all, who are you?" And little Satya just asked for a handful of flowers. He took them, threw them on the ground, and they formed into the letters of the Telugu alphabet, which read, "I am Sai Baba." And this was the final proof that everybody got. Yet, some people believed, some disbelieved, some could not make up their mind, but it did not matter, because when the Lord comes, his devotees definitely recognize him, and the Lord had come with a mission. So some months later, now little Satya decided that it was time for him to leave his family. Now he had to work for the rest of mankind, and so he declared to his family that he would no longer go to school, he would no longer remain with his family, but he would go and spread his message. He would complete his mission. He said that I have work to do. I have to spread this religion of love, this religion of humanity. But when his mother came to know about it, Ishwaramma was devastated. She said, "For you, I may not be your mother, but for me, you are still my son. So, I want a promise from you that you will never leave Puttaparthi." And little Satya obliged. He promised his mother that he would forever reside in Puttaparthi and all the devotees would have to come to him to meet him there. And thus it is that Prashanti Nilayam at Puttaparthi became his abode. Initially, he would just go and live in the huts and houses of his devotees around till this place was made to accommodate all the increasing number of devotees that would come to Puttaparthi. Devotees started coming from all over the world because the Lord does not limit himself to a nation, to some caste or some particular religion. The powers of Satya Sai Baba, like curing diseases, bringing peace to all the distressed, or doing so much seva like the super specialty hospitals where millions of people are treated for free, or the educational institutes where the tenets of dharma are inculcated in the students along with the formal education. Baba always said, "Why fear when I am here? Help ever, hurt never." And this was his message. This was his mission. Just like his previous avatar, the Sai Baba of Shirdi, who would produce the holy ash or udi and offer solace to all the distressed ones, Satya Sai Baba of Puttaparthi would give vibhuti, that miraculous ash which he could produce, to all those who genuinely deserved it. When people wonder, how can vibhuti or ash come out of thin air? One should stop and think, can we explain how the entire Srishti is created out of nothing? The Lord's ways cannot be explained by mere words. It needs a devotee's heart to understand his Lord. On the auspicious occasion of Satya Sai Baba's birth anniversary, November 23rd, let us all offer our humble pranams at his lotus feet. Om Sai Ram. I hope you liked today's story. If you did, do share it with your family and friends. And I will be back with another story next Thursday. Until we meet again, Hari Om.